4 moves delivered this client over $30,000 in annual upside. The first was a super simple one, which is just more effectively structuring her bank accounts. That created $11,665 of upside. The second one was a really simple one, and one of my favorites, that she refinanced her existing mortgage. She was getting slugged with the bank loyalty tax, $9,625 a year of saving. She then sold down some underperforming investments, and at the same time moved a bunch of the money that she had in cash to investments to maximize some tax deductible debt that she had on an investment property. The benefits of selling the underperforming investments are unclear, but just investing the cash savings that she had was over $11,000 of upside. And on top, she started making some small extra salary sacrifice contributions to super, created a pretty modest $2,600 of benefit, but it immediately got her much more focused on a super, which was going to pay big dividends into the future. Now, this client wanted to use the rules to her advantage, but she had absolutely no idea where to start. With a bit of guidance, she put some smart moves in place pretty quickly, and as you can see, $30,000 of upside each year was banked as a result. In terms of the numbers, she was in her late 30s, income $185,000, saving just over $1,500 a month. Just diving a bit deeper on those strategies that she put into place. The first one around structuring her bank accounts, fairly simple one, but she was okay with savings, but she had no structure in terms of how she actually managed things. What she found as a result was that the day-to-day was pretty fine, but when it came to her bigger ticket expenses, particularly things like travel or buying something new for the house, because she had all of the savings in one big pile, she felt like she had more money, and then she would always end up spending more than what she anticipated. So on paper, that structure for her accounts, which is now working for her, will save her $11,000 a year, but in reality, it's probably closer to $30,000 a year because she was overspending every time it came time to book a trip. The second one was refinancing her mortgage. Now, when we started working with her, we started looking at the numbers, and it seemed to us that the mortgage interest rate was a little bit higher. We used one of our mortgage brokers to do a comparison to figure out what she should have been paying. And with a simple phone call to the bank, she immediately started saving $9,600 in interest costs. The bank loyalty tax in Australia is real. The mortgage market is highly competitive, and the banks compete hard for new business by offering sharp rates. But if you've been with a bank for a while, they don't give you the same discounting, and so you end up paying more. Often, without even switching your mortgage, a simple phone call can save you thousands. She had some investments that had been put in place years and years ago, and they weren't terrible, but they also weren't performing very well. So she cleared out those underperforming investments and got them invested into a passive index fund type strategy. And at the same time, she had a bunch of money that was sitting in cash that she chose to then invest. She'd been reluctant to do that prior because the investments that she had weren't performing really well. She didn't know how to choose good investments. But after taking her through some education and particularly focusing on how index funds work, the benefits from them, and how the risks around this sort of investing can be managed, she chose to invest a chunk of the money that she had in cash into investments. And that money was sitting in an offset against tax deductible debt on an investment property. So apart from creating some upside on the actual cash getting invested, she created some more tax deductions on top. After we got everything sorted, she told me she felt like a massive weight had been lifted. Then she could focus more on her work, career, and life and the things that she actually enjoyed rather than stressing about her money. One of the other big benefits along with the financial upside was that we put a rock solid plan in place to manage interest rate risk on her investment property. That was something that got particularly stressful over the last little while through the rate tightening cycle that we'd seen. And she felt a lot of peace of mind by knowing that even if interest rates went up further or a property was tenanted, that there was a clear cash flow plan and risk management plan in place there. And the big goal of buying a dream home, which she previously thought impossible, she could see now a clear and realistic plan to do that in a time frame that she was happy with. This, to me, shows the power of using the rules to your advantage.